Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Joel.
I'm Aunt Becky.
I'm Matt.
I'm Grandpa.
And we're some of the Veggie boys.
And girls.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by.
I fixed it.
We've got a lot going on today. First things first, this morning we have no cabbage in the farm market, so we need to go pick some. There's a big difference from the first time we were picking cabbage. This stuff has got a lot of nice size to it. We had someone call and place an order for some cabbage, and we had no more back at the farm market. So we will have to pick more cabbage later on, but we just wanted to make sure we got fresh for that order.
And while we're back here, I'm gonna grab some kale.
Someone needs to pick the kale. It looks like little kale trees out here. So we had a pretty crazy night last night. We ended up taking 40 boxes of pickling cucumbers to the auction. We took some time to think about it, and there was no way we were gonna be able to sell 40 boxes of cucumbers, so we had to take them. So Matt got up at 5 o'clock this morning. He took them to the auction, so we'll just have to wait and see what we get for those cucumbers. We also took 10 boxes of zucchini, so hopefully we get something for zucchini. There was some lettuce out in the garden, so Matthew and I came out to pick it. We have a little bit of a problem as it's going to seed. You can see on this one and on this one as it starts to shoot up. Now there's a lot of leaves on these heads of lettuce. However, because the lettuce is going to seed, that means that the flavor is going to be much more bitter. Before we leave, I wanted to show you guys how the red beets look. As we look down through the rows, you can see we have a lot of red beets here. And if we lean down in here, we can pull one. Oh, they're getting some nice size. Yesterday I was using the tedder on some straw that we had. We have hopes of getting as much bale today as we possibly can. We had a new batch of chickens brought in the other day. And you can see if you look in among the chickens, there are some smaller chicks there. There was a problem with the shipping on one of the batches. Some of the chicks didn't make it, so we had to get a new batch in. That's why they're all different sizes. I don't know if you can see over on that hill, but it looks like the whole hill is covered in smoke. So for this morning, we thought it was mostly humidity. So this foggy haze that we've been dealing with all day is actually smoke. Now the smoke is doing one thing, it is making it a little cooler so that the sun isn't as intense. That's where our problem's coming from. The sun isn't able to poke through all the smoke. It's not able to dry out the straw. It's not able to dry out everything. So this is when disease becomes more likely. It seems like our plants are pretty dry, but if we were dealing with some rain, that could lead to disease then. But hopefully it shouldn't be like this for too longer, because no sunlight means our vegetable plants aren't growing the way they're supposed to, and it means that our straw is not gonna dry. You look a little comfortable to be picking vegetables.
I'm Grandpa. Whoa!
I cannot remember a time when our cucumbers covered like this.
27 baskets of pickles out of those 2 rows, and then 14 out of the old yesterday.
Since there's only 1 row of cucumbers, to make it easier on ourselves, I'm gonna pick this side of the row, and Dad's gonna work on that side.
And I'm gonna be carrying the baskets.
Andrew, look at this.
I've never seen them hang like that. And I just keep looking. Look, I just moved the plants. Look at that.
You got a full basket?
Joel, let's go. I'm waiting here. My hands are full. All you gotta do is carry baskets.
Look at that. Those are gorgeous.
You think it's all the heat and rain?
Joel, I became a better farmer. Has nothing to do with heat and water.
The same weather that has been stopping us from baling straw, the humidity, the rain, that has contributed to one of our best cucumber harvests that we've ever had. Now this variety is called Speedway. We've planted this variety for a few years and it has always done well for us, but we've never seen it do this well. This is a little crazy. So if you were interested, the variety we are planting is Speedway. Oh my, look at that. That is all, I literally have not moved any of these. I could go down through this whole planting and show you how many cucumbers that we have just laying here. That is unbelievable.
And considering that we picked these on Friday, 3 days ago.
So we might be in a little bit of a pickle, and that is no pun intended. We have a little bit of a problem. Out of our first row of cucumbers, we have gotten 31 half bushel baskets. And when you hear that, you know, you're like, yeah, good harvest, check it out. We don't know what we're gonna do with them. The reasonable answer here would be some of these are gonna have to go to auction. And we are fortunate that we have a local grocery store that will take quite a few cucumbers. So hopefully we can get rid of a few that way. We get really busy at the farm market, but I don't think we're 30 baskets of cucumbers to a row busy. Now don't get us wrong, we're not complaining that we're having a good harvest. We're just amazed at how much is here. We just don't know what we're gonna do with them all. We just got all our cucumbers picked, now it's time to load up. Well, this is how many cucumbers we got. 52 baskets. Hopefully we'll be able to sell them all because they look really, really nice. Now that we're done picking our cucumbers, we're gonna get some sweet corn. That's so good. This is good stuff. We're back at the farm market. We're gonna go eat some lunch, and then afterward, we'll be able to wash those cukes up. We got finished with lunch, and now we need to find something to do with all these cucumbers. To start off, the local grocery store said they'd take a few, so we're boxing them up.
I don't think so.
What we're doing now is we're washing them, and because we have so many, we're being quite selective with what we keep. Whatever we don't keep, we'll either give to the animals or we'll use them ourselves. We washed a lot of cucumbers.
I only see 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. Yeah, it's 1 box.
We've talked about it multiple times, having enough room in our cooler. And we're getting to the point Well, we're running out of room, but what are you gonna do? That's vegetable harvest.
The girls better start selling it. That's what should happen.
I'm staying out of this. I'm neutral.
We are in the farm market working on cleaning things up and filling stuff up. And one thing that we noticed, we are out of cabbage in the cooler. So we're gonna have to pick some cabbage for the farm market. Did Tracy try and back up into you and hurt you?
I had to blow the horn for safety because she'd step right in front and then I'd be in trouble.
What did Brian say about me?
He said you were a safety hazard. I don't know.
How am I a safety hazard?
We're out in the cabbage field and we're gonna start cutting cabbage and filling up our bin. We want a whole bin for the farm market. That way we have plenty to sell. It looks really good. So if anybody is curious, the stuff right in front of the tractor, this is Cheers. The stuff that Dad is picking, that is Blue Vantage. Now the Cheers cabbage gets a little bit bigger than the Blue Vantage. But that also means it takes longer to get ripe. And just like that, we have a beautiful bin of cabbage, and there's still plenty of cabbage here to pick. Cabbage is one of those things that will last you a long time in your field, and to be honest, it's up there with some of my favorite things to pick. The only time I don't like to pick it is the end of November into December, because it gets so cold outside, and then your fingers and your hands go numb while you're trying to harvest it. But they say when you have a frost on your cabbage, that makes the cabbage sweeter.
Now we're gonna move on to peppers, and I'm picking jalapenos. Matthew is picking hot cherry, and Daniel is picking Italian sweets.
What am I supposed to be picking?
Hopefully not your nose.
Oh no, you don't want to be doing that with hot peppers. I may have done it once, like a year ago, but I won't do it again. Those are gorgeous. Look at those. Beautiful. That should be enough for now. I just need to pick a couple jalapenos to put on top so we can tell the difference between the hot wax and the sweet banana. Because that is not a mistake you want to make. You do not want to get your peppers mixed up. Because if we don't know what they are, then we have to taste test them. And every time you think you got a sweet one, you always bite a hot one. Because we pick them so often, we usually can tell the difference just by the smell of the pepper and the texture of the skin. But for the average person, it's not too easy to tell. And I mean, just look at these peppers. They almost look exactly the same. That's a nice little haul there. Look at that. Take a lot of weight off of this plant, that's for sure. What always makes me laugh is when we start picking, this is all that we really need back at the farm market. Compared to when we're into normal pepper harvest, where we're picking bins and bins of peppers. It's just so funny that we only need that small amount. Before we left, we pulled 3 rows of weeds out of the peppers. It wasn't too bad, but we want to get these rows cleaned out before the weeds get too large. After we got done with the cabbage and peppers and got everything unloaded, we didn't really have anything else going on. And now we just got the farm market closed up and everything's put away. We made it up to the house and it looks like Grammy is working on dinner, salmon cakes, peas, and red beets. So who wants to tell everyone what's going on? Why does each one of us have a banana?
Is it an appetizer?
We have too many ripe bananas.
Matthew, it's not all about you. It's potassium and you need it in your diet.
So then it is about him because he needs potassium in his diet.
Where'd she come from?
So everybody gets a banana at dinner. Alrighty guys, we're gonna sit down and enjoy our dinner. So that means this is where we're gonna end the video. We want to thank everyone for watching and we hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.
Subscribe.